Hi you guys, I'm back today with another Flashback Friday, and today I'm going to be talking about a palette that I've had and I've actually not had a chance to use, which I kind of feel like is the theme of Flashback Friday. Here's a palette that is older, but I didn't get a chance to use it, and I'm really excited to be able to share this with you guys today. Now, the palette that I'm talking about is the Tati Beauty Volume 1. This is what the outside looks like. Mine looks a little rough because I've stored it, and I've stored it, and I've moved it, and I've stored it. So this is what the outside looks like. It is $48. It is still available. It is a beautiful palette. Now, you guys can tell this is definitely not like the looks you're used to seeing on my channel. I don't do a whole lot of neutral looks, to be honest, which is strange because in real life, I really enjoy neutral looks. I like looks like this. They make me happy. I like a little bit more grungy of this, but this is still a good time. Something to know about this palette is that it is cruelty-free and vegan, and I have a terrible time trying to open this thing. It also has one of the nicest mirrors inside of a palette. It's filthy. It's dirty, but it has one of the nicest mirrors inside of a palette that I've ever used, and this is what the inside color story looks like. So let me just give you some thoughts here. If you are considering picking this up, let me just say that the mattes are incredible. Like, they blend so butter smooth. Performance wise, they actually remind me a lot of Charlotte Tilbury, which are some of my absolute favorite mattes. They just are, I can't even, they like immediately melt together the second that you put them on your eye. The sequins I did use a little bit, but they kind of came across more like mattes, so I kind of feel like those shades end up being a little bit pointless personally. Now please keep in mind that my thoughts have nothing to do with the person themselves, just to do with this palette. And then the metallics are beautiful, but they're more of like a satin finish rather than a true metallic in my opinion. But these shades right here, which I can't use on my eyes, are glitters, and they are extremely impactful. If you do not have sensitive eyes, they're fantastic. And the texture is pretty darn good, so I could maybe get away with it, but I am just not willing to have a reaction on my eyes. It is why I held off buying this palette for so long and then didn't even review it for you guys, because I was like, well, that's 6 whole shades that I'll never get any use out of, because I'm just not willing to take that chance personally. The qualms that I would have about this palette are twofold. So I don't like that there's just a name at the bottom of each row. Like, I'd rather each of the rows have like their own names through all of the shadows or numbers or whatever, just some way to differentiate it. And I do think that she should have put more variation of colors. You do have the ability to darken anything you have here. However, I just feel like because the sequins kind of go away, you've got so many of like the exact same tone of that shade. So that's just my thoughts. However, is it a beautiful palette? Yes, I like it. I think the performance is amazing. And I definitely think, again, if you can use those glitters, ooh, it's 1000% worth it. When you see the swatches, you're definitely going to be like, oh, ooh, that's gorgeous. In any case, I think that if you're looking to expand your neutral collection or you want something that's really easy to use, this is definitely a great way to do it. It is beautiful. It has literally, you can make any kind of look. You do have a little bit of, you know, a little pops of more than neutral tones with the berries and these oranges. So you can definitely enhance your look out of that neutral category, and I think that this would be really beautiful for all different skin tones. I think that honestly this does a great job of being able to range from fair all the way to very deep. I think you will really enjoy this palette. In case you guys are curious, because I know more recently I've actually had people asking me what my lipstick is. Today I did use the Propa Beauty. This is Finesse or possibly Propa. So if I'm saying it wrong, I'm really sorry. If anybody knows the actual pronunciation of it, let me know down in the comments below, because I hate getting names wrong. It really bugs me actually. But anyway, this is a shade that I really enjoy. I think they've done a great job. The formulation is very, very creamy, so I would just be careful because it can kind of feather outside of the lines of your lips, and I did not use a lip liner because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with my eyes today. That being said, I do think it is really good. Something else I want to share with you guys that I've been using poorly, I know that Michaela talked about it on her TikTok, I think, but this is the Madluv. This is like the eyebrow stencil thing, and you get a little stamp, and you stamp it on. Let me just say this, I have no ability to hold the whole stamp on my eyebrow, and it doesn't quite fit. So these are nice in theory. They give you 4 of them. I have the other 3 right here. They give you 4 in the pack, and the idea of them is really cool, but the actual execution, especially for somebody that has weirdly placed sparse eyebrow hairs, it might be a little bit strange for you. I did have to kind of fill in some areas with my actual brow pencil, so I don't know if time-wise it actually does make it any faster. I really thought it would. I think that if these stencils were maybe not so bulky or maybe just slightly less cumbersome somehow, that maybe it would be like, you know, the one and done. I don't know how anybody holds it like that because, like, for instance, my brow is not that big. So maybe if they come out in the future with like smaller versions of these or different sizes for different sizes of faces, I think that that would be really, I think that would really help. Now, I will say that this is pretty cool, but I'm almost thinking, and I actually picked up a pack of these ABH ones right here. I got some of these and I was using just like a regular brush that was kind of separated out a little bit, and I was dabbing it on through that. That worked pretty good actually. But if you have like a little sponge-like material, you can get some of those and dip it into that and do it probably a lot less expensive. These are about $40 for the kit, and that is not cheap, and then you pay shipping on top of that. I will say that their customer service is pretty decent. If you have a little bit bigger of an eye area, it may work perfectly for you, but I think depending on your actual eyebrow size, these may not work, in my opinion. However, I will say this, I have not been to somewhere to have my eyebrows waxed in a really long time. So I do have some eyebrows in strange places, and my eyebrows will just never look as manicured as somebody else's because most of my eyebrow is fake because I have thyroid problems and I lose hair in the places I need it and I gain hair in the places I don't want it. In case you had seen those like viral videos with this, I wanted to just talk about it a little bit, and I did not record myself using it because I don't know how I possibly would. I have a really hard time doing it at all, to be really honest with you guys. That being said, if you are more dexterous than I am with your hands, then you may have a good time with that. For me, it was very difficult. Now, this is a learning curve type of thing, so maybe in more uses I will feel differently about it. The one thing I will say is I got the shade Soft Brown, and so if you're looking at color-wise what it looks like, this is kind of what it looks like. It's almost like a grayish brown shade, and I like that. I think it's just about right, like an ashy brown. There we go. That's probably a better way to say it. So color-wise on their website, I think they do a pretty good job of showing you what it's going to look like once you apply it. With that being said, I'm going to do some swatches for you guys. Then I will do this eye look, and I'll be back at the very end with my final thoughts. Is Poet, which I just dropped. And that's a beautiful berry matte shade. This is the Sequin. A little bit more pink and less red. And it has blue and purple, like little glitters within it. But I don't know if they disappear because I actually didn't use any of these. They stay on through the blow test, so maybe they would last. This is the Metallic. And that texture almost reminds me a little bit of Glam Light and Lunar Beauty. Just a bit. And this is a little bit more orange undertoned of a red, or a little shifty. It's a little duochromatic, if you will. It does have a bit of the maroon burgundy and a bit of, well, there's glitter particles within it too. This is the actual glitter. And that is stunning. I was very tempted to try it on my eye, but I am just a little leery because the particles are just big enough that I think that it might irritate me and I don't want to take the risk. But that color is a little bit more on the coppery side like this one is. And it is just, oh my goodness gracious. But it still has like that burgundy tone to it and it's beautiful. This is the matte shade of Aura. And that's a beautiful peachy kind of shade. This is the Sequin. It's just a smidge lighter, I would say. And the sparkles within it are like red and orange and gold. They're very pretty. Metallic of Aura. And that is a really pretty champagne shade. Aura glitter. Oh, that one's really pretty. That's like Christmas glitters within a champagne base. Oh, I like it a lot. I wish I could use that. I'm super depressed. Next shade is Soothe in the matte formula. The mattes really remind me of the Tarte formulation, how they're just really creamy and smooth and easy to use. That's exactly what it reminds me of. And that is a beautiful kind of like rusty brown shade. Here is the Sequin. And that is just a slight hint less orange toned. And the sparkles within it are like a lot less apparent, but they are kind of gold. This is the metallic. Got veins here and it keeps hitting them. And that's kind of a orangish toned champagne, but much deeper. And this is the glitter. Whew, that is gorgeous. That is like an orangey based champagne shade again, but different from this. I'll just wear these on my arm for a little bit and see if I get irritated wearing them. Where is Story? And that is a beautiful like pumpkin orange shade. And this is the sequin of Story. This is actually slightly deeper, I would say, and it has gold little reflective pieces in it. This is the metallic. And that is a beautiful gold tone orange shade. This is the glitter of Story. And this is a beautiful orange glitter that has some gold, some red, some silver. It's fantastic. The next shade is Ritual in the mattes. Light reddish greenish undertone to it. The sequin. That's a much more true chocolate brown, although that almost has a slight bit of green undertone to it as well. This is the metallic. Ooh, that's like a slightly orange toned brown metallic. Very pretty. Here's the glitter of Ritual. Ooh, girl. That's kind of a goldish undertoned brown shade, and it has kind of like orange, blue, and silver glitter particles in it. It is beautiful. This is Memory in matte. And that is like a one and done black matte shade. The sequin. And that's almost, well, it's still black, but it's almost more dark gray. But it has like purple and blue and gold glitter particles in it. This is the metallic. That's almost a blue, black, gray, like a graphite, if you will. And this is the glitter. Ooh, she pretty. And that is a gorgeous kind of gray shifting silver type of glitter. It is beautiful. And that is the whole Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette. And this is the palette in low light. I wasn't going to show it necessarily because there's not really a lot of duochromatic shades to this, but the glitters I felt deserve to be looked at in another lighting. Plus the sequins are very interesting. Alright, you guys, I am back and I want to give you my final thoughts. Again, this is just a Flashback Friday, so this is not like a review. I just want to have a good time with some stuff that I haven't had a chance to use yet. Today I finally got a chance to use my Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette. I'm really excited to see if she will come out with some other stuff, especially now that she's back to posting on her YouTube and her social media again, so fingers crossed. I am hoping to see her come out with some more items. Now, this palette is $48, and when you open it up, this is really hard for me to open. I don't know why. The mirror, again, I think is really good quality. It is large. It's a really nice mirror. This is what the inside of the palette looks like itself. I really think that the neutral shades in here are beautiful. I think some of the berry tones and the orange tones really gives you the ability to slightly toe the line out of the neutral category. I definitely think that the finishes in here are beautiful. However, I will say this whole row of sequins I feel to be kind of pointless. I would have much rather seen differentiating shades. That way, not all of this ended up looking the same. Because, like, even the tones of the metallics, which I would consider to be more like satins, is very similar to the shades that you're actually using as mattes. However, I think that it turned out beautiful. I'm going to get a little bit closer. I feel like the payoff in general is a very soft, subtle type of Charlotte Tilbury kind of finish. So if you like Charlotte Tilbury, but you don't want to spend, like, I don't even remember how much their quads are, because I don't even buy them anymore, to be honest, because it's just a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and I have enough neutral, pinkish, orangish shades from her personally, so I haven't bought anything else from her in a long time. I want to say they were either like $53 for a quad or like $48. I want to say it was $53. So for $48, you get all of these shades, which perform, in my opinion, very, very similarly. And then you get the addition of these glitters, which if you are able to wear glitters, they're stunning. I honestly feel like the quality is really good, and if I could and was inclined to try a glitter shade on my eye, it would be these, because the formula seems to be really forgiving, but I'm just not there yet. I just am not quite gutsy enough to try that, because my eyes are sensitive and it is just not worth a reaction to me. The thing I would note is that this is a cruelty-free and vegan palette, which I am here for. I think that's great, and overall I think she did a good job with this palette. So with all of that being said, I really hope that this video was helpful to you guys. Don't mind me dropping stuff. That's like a real thing in every video, no matter what. I've actually toppled over a ton of shit on my desk during this video. Something I did not bring up in the beginning of this video is that I actually have reached 2,000 subscribers on my Instagram. Not quite on here. So once I do hit 2,000 subscribers on here, if I do hit 2,000 subscribers on here, I will still be doing that giveaway for you guys. So hopefully you will consider subscribing to me, especially if you like this video or any of my other videos that I've done, or you just like to see stuff swatched out. I feel like swatching is super relaxing, but it is not for everybody. If you did, make sure you leave a comment down below. In fact, if you made it to the end of this video, let's do an emoji. Let's do a celestial emoji. Just put whatever your favorite one of those would be, whether it's a star, a moon, a sun, whatever. I'm here for it all day. And if you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell for future updates, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.